Okay, so who would you go to for relationship advice? Because this show is all about love and passion. From this bunch, you've got to know them. Who would you go to for relationship advice?
Trina.
Why?
She knows everything about everything. She knows the answer to any query anybody's ever had. And she's like lived a whole life in New York. She was like a model before. I just feel like she's lived so many lives, and Katrina is like a best friend and like a mother and everything to everyone on set. She just is the best.
If you could get rid of one thing that your characters had to wear that you absolutely can't stand, what would it be?
I think my little shoes, my little Quaker shoes, they have a little heel, and I know I can't complain about heels, and the heel is this big. But when we're trying to like be running away and like in the action and first of all, I'm tiny anyway, and like you've got Sam Heughan who's like, "Rah!" and everyone else, and I'm this like little Quaker like running behind, like, don't leave me. And I'm in these little heels like skidding around in the mud. It's not a good look. I don't look cool at all.
Okay, that's completely destroyed you now for me. You mentioned Sam, Charles, and I think Dave also. They're obsessed with the gym, and they seem to all go there and just bench press and do sit-ups and all that stuff all day. Where would I find you, and who? Would it be Cat again? You and Cat sitting in a corner having a cup of tea and chat?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I tell you where you'd find me. You'd find me with Izzy and John in a cocktail bar somewhere, just eating and chatting and drinking. That was our favorite thing to do in Glasgow. And our favorite thing actually was to go to this place called Shucks and get oysters. But then me, Kat, Izzy, Sam's makeup woman,
Makeup woman.
everyone all got ill from these oysters.
Okay, that's amazing. No, that's really sad. It's not amazing. But can we just point out that Sam has his own makeup woman?
We all do.
You have a makeup person each.
Hair and makeup, yeah.
Each,
yeah.
even when you're a newbie.
Even when you're a newbie, I know they treat you well on Outlander.
It is wonderful to see your face.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much. But I have a bit of an issue. I had the most recent episode, which airs this weekend, and I had it yesterday. I tried everything to get this stupid authenticator app to work. I don't know if you have to go through this when you get episodes, but you probably don't. Even to the point where Danielle, who you just saw, and the US team were all trying to help. So I didn't get to see it. So what we're going to do, it's okay. What we're going to do.
No, but it's like, I've never known security like it to get through, like for us as well. Like, and I remember Kat and Sam, they were, when we did the premiere in New York, they did like a Q&A afterwards. And they were like, that's the first time we've seen the episode because we cannot get through the security.
Exactly. So listen, first things I want to ask you is this. How does it feel to have become a part of this Outlander family? The fans are nuts. They're amazing. They are beautiful. And then this huge, beautiful cast as well. Fans, cast, who's better?
I mean, how can you make me choose? I'll offend everyone, but I mean, I think it's just the best of both worlds. Like the cast and the crew and everyone who works on the show are just the most incredible bunch of people. Like genuinely, like I know everyone says like it's like a family, but it really is like a family, and you feel so welcomed into it. And I think, you know, it's kind of overwhelming joining such a huge show. So to be so looked after by everyone on set is amazing. And then to be so welcomed by the fans, like they're all so excited for the new characters. A lot of them read the books, so they've already lived with these characters already, and they're excited to see our portrayal of them. So it just feels like a really exciting world to be joining.
You didn't have to get rid of your hair.
I did, Max, I did. So the hair has been such a nightmare. So when I first taped, I had like probably like this length hair, and then hadn't heard anything for a month and was just like, oh, whatever, like forget about it.
Yeah.
Walk into the hairdressers and get a call from my agent. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm walking to the hairdressers. He was like, no, don't get your hair cut. He was like, you've got like a final meeting for Outlander. And I was like, all right, okay. So then after I got the part, we went in and we did some like wig tests and everything. But for some reason, all the wigs they put on me looked ginger. And obviously, like no one else can be ginger other than like Jamie and Brianna. Obviously, you know. And so they were like, oh, we'll just clip in some extensions. But like, because obviously my hair was short, we had to clip them like everywhere.
I love it.
So my head was like this big. So like the first episode, my head is like this big. And then we're changing it sort of every episode. It was a whole thing. I have to sit and get it curled for an hour, then we put it back, then we put the extension in. It's a whole thing, but it grows really quickly. So halfway through filming, I was able to use my actual hair, and by the end, it was like this long. And I was so sick of it, because also they'd had to like layer it for the extension. So I had like a bob, and then a long bit here. It was so bad. So as soon as we finished, I was like, as long as I can grow it back for whenever we might need it, I'll just chop it off, and I feel like a new man.
Having to let them mess with your hair. I mean, come on.
I know. And everyone else is in wigs, so they can look amazing outside of set, and I'm the only one with this like long hair.
What is coming before we have that final season? What can you tell me?
Oh God, I mean, it's just so epic. It's like there's a new thing happening every time. There's not like time to think. There's people are being pulled apart. There's war and death and love and tears. I think everyone has an existential crisis at some point. I think this part 1 is very dramatic, but part 2 is like just so dramatic. I obviously can't talk about it, but just I feel like you. No, I'm not. Listen,
openly.
I'm not going to be the Tom Holland of Outlander. I can't.
That's a really good person to be, though, because have you noticed, Joey, they never get rid of him.
Well, that is true. Maybe if I start leaking little bits, maybe I'll be the next Tom Holland.
Be a little tease, a little bit here, a little bit there. Okay,
yeah,
so...
I mean, yeah, there's some exciting moments for my character, and some... I think the fans are going to be holding their breath for a lot of the season. You don't get any time to really relax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm taking that all in. I didn't get to say this, but congratulations. I think he's a lovely character to play. Even with those funny little heels you're wearing, it's nice to have somebody who actually puts that good energy in the world and reminds us, be nice. It's not difficult.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And I think that's what's so beautiful about the Hunters. Their whole ethos is just about putting kindness into the world. And I think that's such a lovely flavor to add to this season and to the characters, and to help them see the world with a little more kindness, I think.
Joey, absolute pleasure. You rock. Danielle, I need some more time with Joey. I think you've just trumped Alex Vlahos. Oh my God, Joey, before I forget, do you know what Alex said about you? Sorry, Danielle, please don't cut me off. He said, because he and I are friends, and he said to me, before the season started, I said, if I could talk to one person from this season, from all of the cast, who should I talk to? He said, Joey Max. Trust me, he's lovely, he's talented, he was my understudy for Romeo and Juliet, and he's a top guy, and you're going to love him. He raves about you, he's such a champion for you.
I love Alex. I've known him for years. Like you said, yeah, we did Romeo and Juliet together, and I understudied him as Romeo, and we've just been friends ever since. And so it's such serendipity that now we're both in like the Outlander world and stuff. And he was with me for my first convention in Paris, and he sort of held my hand, and his wife Jules, who is just the most amazing woman as well. And so I feel like he's just like such a fun guy to have around, and to sort of
help. When he talks to you, he goes,
oh my God, I know, yeah. The energy levels are wild.
Blink, Alex, blink.
Yeah. Oh, you too, Max. Thank you so much. Thank you. So nice to meet you, Max. Bye. Bye.